After 6 seasons, with half of them being losing seasons, Virginia Tech finally parted ways with Justin Fuente. Now the million-dollar question is whether or not Brent Pry can start to rebuild this program and restore them to their former glory. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys, ready to predict Virginia Tech's schedule and record for this upcoming college football season. And you take a look at Virginia Tech, guys. This is a team that just has struggled. I mean, they won the Coastal Division in Fuente's first year and then just fell off after that. Never really could find themselves back after that. The Hokies went 6-7 in 2021, including an embarrassing 54-10 loss to Maryland in their bowl game. But when you take a look at their numbers, guys, brought to you by College Football Encyclopedia, you realize that the talent that Virginia Tech brings back isn't horrible. They can definitely get to a bowl game this year. 64% of the production returns from last year. That's 74th in the country. This is a unit that ranked 98th nationally in offense, and that is going to be the weak spot for Virginia Tech. The offense has to improve, and Brent Pry recognized that and went out and got a transfer quarterback in Grant Wells from Marshall, who many expect to be the starter in Blacksburg this year. The problem is Virginia Tech really doesn't have the wide receivers to help Wells, and they have major offensive line questions. The running back core is deep: Malachi Thomas, Jalen Holston, Keyshawn King, guys like that. But how will the passing game and the pass protection hold up for Virginia Tech to hopefully take that next step offensively? Defensively, Brent Pry is a defensive-minded coach, and they've got the talent. 8 starters back on that side of the ball. Linebacking core is absolutely loaded. The secondary is pretty solid itself. The biggest thing, guys, is finding a way to increase the pass rush. Virginia Tech had the 5th fewest sacks in the ACC last year. So they've got to find a way to get off the field. They've got to find a way to pressure opposing quarterbacks. When we take a look at their schedule, again, it's favorable. It really is favorable for a first-year head coach. We think they'll open up the year with a win at Old Dominion. I know a few years ago, Old Dominion actually beat the Hokies. We think Virginia Tech wins now. We think they're able to take down the Monarchs this year. So 1-0, Brent Pry 1-0, and then they get their first ACC game against Boston College. The Hokies fell to the Eagles 17-3 last year. 17-3. And look, Boston College now, guys, is loaded. Loaded with Phil Jerkovic at quarterback, Pat Garwo at running back. You got Zay Flowers at wide receiver. And a defense that was 3rd nationally against the pass. And a rushing defense that wasn't great, but could have been worse, right? Virginia Tech is not going to be able to air it out on many teams this year. So to win this game, they're going to have to run. Boston College knows that. They'll shut down the run game. And right now, I don't think Virginia Tech has what it takes to stop this Boston College offense, one that has a chance to be the best yet under Jeff Hafley. I think the Eagles come into Blacksburg, a difficult place to play, but come into Blacksburg and win. I just don't think a 14-point swing is going to happen despite the changes happening for both teams. Virginia Tech will then, we believe, beat Wofford 2-1, and then they get West Virginia in week 4, right at the end of September. This is a big game, guys. Big for both teams in terms of maybe getting them to a bowl game. West Virginia beat Virginia Tech last year 27-21. The Hokies were getting a lot of hype after their strong start. West Virginia crushed it early. When you look at the numbers, guys, West Virginia, for me, has a better offense, no doubt about it. JT Daniels is going to be better than Grant Wells. They're going to test this Virginia Tech secondary, no doubt about it. But defensively, Virginia Tech owns the advantage. Home field advantage goes to Virginia Tech. And I think Brent Pry's squad is going to do just enough to take down a mediocre West Virginia squad. Everybody's giving him all the hype because of JT Daniels. He's not the savior. He's not going to, one player isn't going to define an entire team. And I think at home, in a close game, Virginia Tech gets their revenge over the Mountaineers. Revenge, a major factor as well. And just like that, guys, they're 3-1. 3-1 heading into October. Not too bad. Not bad start for Brent Pry. The schedule gets tough, though, after that. Very tough. At North Carolina, at Pittsburgh, Miami, and then at NC State. I will tell you right now, guys, I think we're going to project a loss for all 4 of them. All 4 of those games will be losses, 3 of them coming on the road. We'll go through them quick. North Carolina, Virginia Tech, they won 17-10 last year. North Carolina is going to be out for revenge. The Tar Heels were a top 10 team at the time. Virginia Tech ruined that in week 1. Now it's in Chapel Hill. North Carolina should have improved a little bit, especially defensively. And while I think it's close, the Tar Heels get the win there. They then travel on the road to Pittsburgh. They fell 28-7 to the Panthers last year. Pittsburgh, of course, winning the ACC last year. Now the game is on the road. Pittsburgh won that game in Blacksburg by 21. That's a very difficult thing to do. The game is now on the road. Pittsburgh, yes, loses Kenny Pickett and Jordan Addison, we know. But Keaton Slovis is going to be fine. The run game is going to be fine. And Pittsburgh absolutely owns the edge on the line of scrimmage in this game. They can dominate in the trenches, both with their offensive line and their defensive line. All those factors, plus home field advantage, I like the Panthers. They then take on Miami at home. Virginia Tech only fell to the Hurricanes 38-26 last year. But even at home, guys, Miami's offense is going to be too good, and it's going to give Virginia Tech's defense some struggles here. Tyler Van Dyke is one of the best quarterbacks, not just in the ACC, but in the country. The things that he did in the span of just 8 games last year was unbelievable. And he's going to come in here and be able to give the Hurricanes a win. And let's keep in mind, too, that everybody wants to dog on Miami. New head coach in Mario Cristobal. He's going to change things, and he's going to change them quickly. We believe the Hokies fall there. They get their bye week, a much-needed one amidst a 3-game losing streak, but the streak continues with a loss at NC State, like we mentioned. If you thought Miami was good, NC State is better, way better. Loaded on offense, loaded on defense, and ultimately, guys, when you look at it, NC State owns every edge here. They've got the offensive edge over the Hokies. They have the defensive edge over the Hokies. They've got home field advantage. Really, the only thing that the Wolfpack don't have is that week of rest beforehand, and I don't really think that's going to play that big of a role anyways. So 4-game losing streak, guys. They are 3-5 now. 3-5 for Virginia Tech heading into the final month of the year. But look at that final month of the year. It's so favorable. They get back-to-back games against arguably the worst teams in the ACC. They get a road game at Liberty, which is a bit of a trap game, maybe. And then a home game against Virginia, a team they've dominated for nearly 2 decades now. So we'll go through it quick. We think they beat both Georgia Tech and Duke, and there's no need to talk about either. They beat Georgia Tech by 9 last year. I think the Yellow Jackets will be lucky if the game's that close. And then, yeah, sure, they got to go on the road to Duke. Not much of a home field advantage there anyways. And the Hokies beat the Blue Devils 48-17. Duke, the worst defense in the nation last year, will struggle defensively again. If Virginia Tech had offensive struggles, they're going to look like one of the best offensive teams in the country when they play Duke on the 12th. So back-to-back wins there, guys. Back-to-back wins. They're 1 win away from bowl eligibility. They're going to get it on the road at Liberty. This game, to me, is a trap game. It certainly could be viewed as a loss for many. But Liberty no longer has Malik Willis. Again, one player doesn't define everything, but they lose a lot of people across both sides of the ball. A few years ago, Liberty came into Blacksburg and won. I believe Virginia Tech is certainly going to want revenge and redemption for that home loss by beating Liberty on their home turf. Liberty's not going to be as good as they've been these last few years. They actually had a down year compared to what they had in 2020. I think Virginia Tech's defense does enough to shut down that Liberty offense. They win a close one against the Flames. And then in the season finale, they've already clinched bowl eligibility. Last year, they had to beat Virginia just to get to that 6th win. Now they've already got it. They take on a Virginia team, guys, that has one of the best passing offenses in the country. Brennan Armstrong led the 2nd-ranked passing attack in the nation last year. But despite that, despite Virginia Tech's woes last year, they still found a way to beat the Cavaliers on their home turf 29-24. This is a battle between 2 new coaches, Brent Pry, Tony Elliott. But at the end of the day, guys, I've got to go with Virginia Tech. I've got to go with the team that's got home field advantage. Virginia Tech showed me last year that they could slow down Virginia. They could beat Virginia despite their high-octane offense. With a strong defense this year, they can do it again. The Cavaliers have only defeated Virginia Tech 1 time since 2004. I don't think it's going to be a second time, at least not in 2022. So the Cavaliers fall here. The Hokies get the win over their in-state rival and finish the year at 7-5. 7-5 for Brent Pry in his first year in Blacksburg. While that's not going to win you a division title, while you're not going to be a playoff contender or an ACC title contender, whatever, 7 wins with a shot at 8, that's laying a solid foundation. And for most Hokie fans, after the turmoil and the frustrations they've dealt with over the last few years, you're probably going to be pretty happy with that. Brent Pry comes in, does phenomenal things in year 1, and the only way to go is up from here on out. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below too, including our expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Sign up for those today. Become a part of our GE Nation. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.